Lots of different pieces and parts to Medicare when you come in. We got Part A, Part B, Part C, Part D, Medicare supplement plans, Plan G, Plan N, all sorts of different things for us to figure out when we come into Medicare. I'm going to go through it real quick right now so you can have a pretty good understanding of how this stuff works so you don't make any mistakes when you're signing up. So we will start with Medicare Part A. Medicare Part A is part of Original Medicare. It covers stuff that happens inpatient hospital, primarily room and board costs. So why they separate this stuff, I don't know, but they do. So Part A is kind of your room and board, your semi-private, your TV, stuff like that in your hospital inpatient stay. Part A has a very large deductible. If you're admitted into the hospital, it's going to have a deductible somewhere around $1,600. So that you're responsible for right when you're admitted into the hospital. It can actually happen multiple times during the year. It's not an annual deductible. It's a per admission deductible based on a window of when you go into the hospital. However, most people aren't going to pay this deductible. You'll either have a Medicare supplement plan or you'll be on a Medicare Advantage plan that generally will take care of that Part A deductible. So they have that deductible, but you're not generally going to pay for it. Medicare Part B, also part of Original Medicare, covers most everything else, all the medical stuff, the doctor's visits, the office visits, the specialist, outpatient care, pretty much everything outside of the room and board. And Medicare Part B has a smaller deductible. Right now, it's about $257, and it is an annual deductible. So you only pay it once during the year. Very small when we're talking about health insurance for a deductible for you to come out of pocket. There's a pretty good chance you will pay that $257 out of pocket Medicare Part B. Certainly if you stay on Original Medicare A and B with a supplement plan, you will be paying that $257, but that might be all you're going to pay. So it's not a big out-of-pocket expense, but we need to understand exactly how it works. So Part A, room and board, inpatient stuff. Part B, all the doctor stuff, all the specialist stuff, all the things outside of the hospital stuff pretty much go hand in hand. So you're not going to have A without B or B without A. You will certainly have them together. Now we get to Medicare Part C. Medicare Part C doesn't fit into any of this. Medicare Part C is actually Medicare Advantage. And why, I don't know how they got to include it so it looks like it's part of Medicare, because it is absolutely not part of Medicare. It actually takes you off of Medicare and puts you into the plan of a private insurance company. All these big insurance companies that you see the commercials on TV are generally Medicare Advantage plans. They're privately run, they're for profit, and they act completely differently than Medicare. Original Medicare, pretty autonomous, pretty fantastic. You don't have any networks, referrals, things of that nature, very limited on stuff like pre-authorizations, where with a Medicare Advantage plan, you got to jump through a lot more hoops, and it can be a lower cost on the front end going in from a cost standpoint, but as you use it, generally more expensive, and can be a lot more expensive if you certainly end up in the wrong one. So understanding what your choices are is very important. Now, Medicare Advantage can be broken down into different types, HMO, PPO. You have to make sure your doctor is within the network as well, and your hospital is within the network, because you're likely going to want to use in-network services, even if you have the ability to go out of network, because you will quickly find that it costs too much to go out of network. It's not worth the while, so you're going to have to find doctors in network, and sometimes that can be very problematic. So Medicare Advantage, Medicare Part C, again, shouldn't have nothing to do with Medicare, but a long time ago they managed to do that because they're really trying to pull people away from Medicare and get them into privately run insurance plans, which may not be in your best interest. I make no secret of it. I'm not a fan of Medicare Advantage. I would not choose Medicare Advantage, and I'll do everything I can to stay with Original Medicare with a supplement plan because it is fantastic coverage when you set it up correctly. Next start is Medicare Part D. So that one almost makes a little sense. It's for drug plans. So Medicare Part D, if you're going to stay with original Medicare and a supplement plan, you may very well want to get a Medicare drug plan. Now, they can be a little more complex, and they kind of work off of what medication you currently take. So Medicare actually has a very good drug plan finder. You go on medicare.gov, find the drug plan finder, put in your medications, put in your pharmacy, and they'll tell you which one is the best plan that will cover things the best for what you're currently taking. Now, you can change that drug plan at the end of any year. So if your medications change during the year and there's another plan that is better, then you can change it at the end of the year. I have found that a lot of times, I mean, there's so many discount services out there like GoodRx or Cost Plus, the Mark Cuban drug plan. There's a number of them. Even like Walgreens has their own, for $20 a month, you get their own discounted drug plan right at your local pharmacy. A lot of times, unless you're on complicated medications, a lot of times they make more sense and they're less costly and they give you better value. So that's certainly what I look for, is value when we're trying to figure all this stuff out. After Part D, we now get into stuff that doesn't have a letter. So Medicare supplement plans or Medigap plans, same thing. Medicare supplement is a Medigap, and it goes along if you're going to stay with original Medicare, Part A and Part B. You're going to want to have either a Plan G or a Plan N, maybe even a GHD. I have videos on all this stuff, but it's set to cover the stuff that original Medicare A and B do not, like that big $1,600 deductible on Part A, and covers most of Part B except for that $257 deductible. So if you had a Plan G, that's going to be your out-of-pocket for the entire year, is the $257. If you have a Plan M, you would also have the deductible of $257, and then it's a $20 copay when you go to the doctor. Actually, it's up to a $20 copay. A lot of times it's $13 or $14 copay when you go to the doctor. So very good, but it's important to figure this stuff out. And it does vary by age, it varies by zip code, it varies by male, female, and that's what we do. We help find the right one for you. We enroll you into that plan so you don't have any hassles or mistakes going in. We just make sure we get all your pieces put in the right places. So this gives you a reasonable overview of the different parts and pieces of Medicare. And again, I'm here. Obviously, I've got many videos going through all this stuff, but we will walk you right through. We're a very small team. We take our jobs very seriously, and we want to make sure that we get you to where you want to be so that down the road, you don't have any surprises or issues and everything is going the way it's supposed to go. So when you go to the doctor, you're happy, they're happy, everybody's getting paid. It just works out very well. So I hope you found this helpful. Give us a call, visit my website. We'll be happy to walk you right through it. Have a fantastic day.